So yeah, welcome back, guys. So today we'll continue further. So yesterday we have seen about what are the softwares that we need, Java 1.8. And I also told you to download this Android SDK executable file, but don't install it because I'll tell you how to install that today. And you can also install this Node.js, Apm desktop, as well as this Maven. Hey guys, if you face any issues installing any of these, please let me know. Okay. What I have also done, uh, I have a recording of how to do the Android Studio installation because I have did it yesterday. So it's a very simple process, but something I wanted to tell. That's why I have recorded this as a video. So you can also take a reference later as well, right? So just double click on the Android Studio IDE video, and then it will ask you where you want to install. Give the path. Okay, give the path here. Okay, you can choose the default path, no problem. And you need at least 500 MB of space, guys, because it will download a lot of packages. Okay, so once the installation starts, it will unpack. Is anyone speaking? Okay, so now the installation is completed. You can start your Android Studio.
Hi Ambutan.
Yeah,
Ambutan, can you show like where you have downloaded this Android Studio
you can.
ID?
Yeah, I have told this yesterday, right, where you have to go and download. Maybe I'll give a demo again. So if you go here, type Android Studio download. That's it. Okay, it will be taking you to developer.android.com. Just go here, and here if you can directly click this if you are using Windows 64-bit, or if you are using any other Linux or Mac versions, scroll down. Okay, scroll down, and then you have an option here to download the Mac or Linux versions. Okay, but based on your needs, you can download them, right? There is also other way to use only command line tools, but we will not go here. First we will use an Android Studio to download that. This Android Studio is needed because we want the Android software development kit to interact with Android devices. Okay, that's the only reason we need this Android Studio. We are not going to build an app, we're going to just run our test on the mobile apps. Okay, so this is predominantly the file that you need to download. Okay, it'll be around 933 MB. Yeah, but you have to download it. Yeah, good. So once you download, you click on this, you choose the installation part, it will download all the stuff for you. And then it'll ask you whether you want to import any settings. Suppose if you are using Android Studio in any other machines, you want to import some settings, you can do that. But in our case, there is no such thing. So we can choose do not import settings and then proceed further. Okay. So if you notice, it'll ask you whether you want to send a message to, yeah, don't send, click on don't send. Okay. And then if you notice, I just want to give a high level overview that you can create Android virtual device. Again, guys, if you have an Android device, we can also work with your real devices. We can also create emulators. Emulators are something Android virtual devices. They are like Android devices, but they don't actually physically exist. They are virtual. So we call it as Android virtual devices, or AVD. Okay, or emulators in a simple term. Okay, so whenever I refer AVD and Android virtual devices or emulators, they all indicates the same thing. Okay, so you can create, so you can use your Android apps on a mobile phone, on an Android watch, on a television, on a vehicle. I don't know what the symbol is, but yeah. So basically, you can install this Android app anywhere. So you can create emulators for any of these using Android Studio. Okay, that is the only reason I wanted to wait for my recording so that I can explain all these things. Okay, let's proceed further. And then it's asking you what kind of thing you want. Yeah, I want the standard installation. I don't want to customize any of the installation settings. So just click on standard and then next. Okay, and then you can choose your theme. That's not a big deal. Once you choose your theme, this is very important part. So it will basically download certain Android SDK level. So in our case, it is downloading the SDK build tools of 30.0.3. Again, guys, whenever someone is asking us what is the Android version you are using, we will tell Oreo, we'll tell Nugget, right? We only know the high level versions. The inner these Android layers in a for communication they use an API level, and this is indicated here. So they use an API level of 30, the latest Android versions that you see in the market using build tools of 30.0.3. Okay, so by default Android Studio will give you the option to download from this. Okay, if you are creating your Android virtual device, you can only use the latest Android version. Okay, there are also option where we get an option to download some older SDK tools and then build some older SDK versions as well. Okay, we'll see that, but for now just understand by default it will show you the latest version. So it will download all the necessary tools and packages that is needed to build an Android SDK of 30.0.3. In our case we are not going to build, we are just going to run our test. Okay, just download it and then click on finish. So it's very simple process. It might be huge in file size. Okay, and then yeah, okay, once this is downloaded, you might see the finish. After that you might see this dialog. You don't have to open a new project and all. Go to this AVD manager in the configure section. Okay, now you are seeing a Pixel 3 device. Okay, with the resolution of this, the API level, if you notice there is a API level column here that is showing 30. Okay, maybe I use an annotate tool. So if you notice it is showing 30. Okay, so this is what the underlying API this particular device is using. Okay, so this is the size on this disk, and whatever the CPU that it is using, all those things is displayed here. Okay, let me clear them. Good. So now once you're done with this, click on this play button here. Okay, if you click on this play button, it will launch you the emulator for you. Okay, it might take some time because for a first time loading. Yeah, so now it will create a brand new device for you. Okay, this is a brand new device. See, this is a Google Pixel model, and then it will open it for you. Okay, so this is a very simple installation process. Though I want to cover what are all the things you need to note, I have asked you to wait before my video. Okay, so now you would have installed Java 8, Android Studio is done, Node.js is done. Apm desktop is a very simple installation process. Please do that. Maven, just download the folder, unzip it, set the Maven home. Okay, if you face any issues, please let me know. I'm not covering any of these installation. You have to try it out. Okay, very simple installation guide, normal software installations. So please do try them and then let me know if you are facing any issues. Good. Once you are install your Android Studio, go to the C users, your username. In my case it is testing mini bytes, it is displayed as testy here. Okay, go inside this. It will be a hidden folder. So either you can go to view and then display all the hidden items, or you can directly go to the tool, this type bar, and then type app data. Okay, so this is a hidden folder. You have three folders here. Go to the local. Inside that there will be a folder called Android, and this is the software development kit that Android Studio has downloaded for us. Okay, so this is what going to help us to interact with Android devices. Okay, if you go inside this SDK tools, you have a lot of folders. Okay, we'll come to what are these folders and how to do, how to understand what they all does. Before that, we need to set the Android SDK home path. Okay, good. Let's go to edit the system environment variables. Okay, we set Java underscore home, right? We set Maven underscore home. The same way we need to set Android underscore home to the path of this. Okay, C uses your app data, local, and SDK. You need to copy this particular path. Okay, and then go to your environment variables. And then if you notice, I have already created. In your case, it will not be there. You have to click on new, and then click on select Android underscore home here and give the path. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't copy the path, so you need to give the path of this particular thing. Okay, so copy this particular path and paste it here. Okay, so this is what I have already done. Okay, this is the first path you need to set. Okay, the second thing, okay, go to the system variables. You might have something called as path. Okay, in the path variables, click on edit. Okay, you need to add 3 different paths here. Okay, let me show what and all those paths. Okay, you need to add paths till tools. Okay, go to the tools folder, copy this particular path, okay, and then add it here. So I have already added it. Okay, then also go inside bin folder where you have certain files, okay, that we might need to access at runtime. So we can also add tool/bin, okay, this particular folder. Okay, so I have already added that. Okay, then in the SDK folder you also have platform tools. You might need to access this Android debug bridge, okay, to interact with devices. Apm will use this particular application to send the commands to the Android devices. So we might also need to set the path until platform tools. Okay, so just copy it and paste it here. So three parts. One is platform tools, another one is tools folder, another one is tool/bin. Apart from that, you also need to set your Android underscore home path. Okay, again guys, this is user variables for my particular you know I hope you all know the difference between your user variables for Amudan and then system variables. The system variables is applicable for everyone, and this user variables is only applicable for my profile. If you are using an office machine, if many people are accessing it, they might not able to you know uh, use this. Okay, so if it is a multi-user machine, set that in the system variables, okay, rather than the user variables. Okay, good. So once you set all these things, guys, you know about why we are setting all the paths, right? Or do we have to explain why we set paths in the environment variables? I hope you all know about it, right? Let's say I will also give you an example. So why we are setting the path? Okay, let's say we'll take a very simple example using our Java. Okay, why we setting a path for Java? Okay, see, normally the Java, you have all the stuff stored here. Okay, if you want to compile a program, you need to use Java C. Okay, so every time I cannot come here and then and then open a command prompt. Okay, I cannot come here, open a command prompt and then use Java C command to compile my code. Okay, I cannot do this every time. So what I've done, I have saved it in the environment variables so that I don't have to come to that particular folder to call this particular thing. Okay, that is the only reason. Okay, you can access it globally in the entire system. That's the reason we setting the path. Okay, there is Java C, there is Java also here. Okay, so just because you want to access it globally in the system, you are setting the environment path variables. Okay, good. I hope you all can follow me, right? Come on guys, just give
Yeah,
me a
Mudan.
sample. Yeah,
Yes, Amudan.
yeah, good. So
Amutan, one doubt.
yeah, please
Like
ask.
for Maven, it is integrated with the ID, right? So is it like we need to extend it and then set the path? Is it mandatory or like?
Yeah, we need to set the path, because I will tell you while running the Apm commands. Okay, hold this question. Okay, when I explain how I'll also tell you how to launch a app in a Android device using Apm. At the time you need to ask this same question. I will tell you what is the reason why we are doing it. Okay,
Sure.
because this adb command, right, whatever you saw in the app data thing. Okay, let's go here again. The platform tools and all those stuff we have, there is something called as tools. Inside tools there is bin, and then if you notice, this is a UI automator viewer that you want to use to inspect the elements. In web automation we use Chrome dev console to write our XPaths and all those things, find the properties of an element. Here we use a UI automator viewer. There is also other way using Apm inspector, but you will use this. Okay, SDK manager is for you maintaining your software development kit. You manage, you can download new SDKs. Okay, all those stuff. AVD manager is, suppose you want to create a lot of emulators, like 3 to 4 emulators, you can manage them using AVD manager, right? The bin folder, I think will have the platform tools. Okay, the platform tools, I think it's present in tools. There is an adb command that I showed you guys. That adb command will be called by the Apm to instruct the Android devices what they need to do. So the adb command is pretty crucial. Okay, once you have set up this path, okay, once you have set up this path, go to the command prompt or PowerShell or whatever the command line interface that you have, and then type adb. So this is the first check that you need to do. Once you do this, if you see something like this, okay, then the Android debug bridge version is now ready. So if you notice, this is inside the platform tools. Okay, this adb.exe file will be used by your Apm to interact with the Android devices. Good. So once you see this, you have done with the Android SDK setup. Okay, you have set the path, you have downloaded Android SDK. To download Android SDK, we are using Android Studio. Okay, because that is the easiest way to download Android SDK. Okay, there are other ways, but that is little complex. We'll come to that later. But for now, just understand, we have downloaded Android SDK using Android Studio. We have also set the path. Now adb command is running, all set. Now what else we want?
One question, please.
Yeah.
So like in system variables, we gave the path till SDK, and other like tools when that we gave in system, and SDK we gave in user. So like this is sometimes confusing, like which paths we have to give in user, and
You can also
everything we can give in system.
Yeah, you can give it. It's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Okay. Why I didn't give it, because I just want my user variables to be clean. That's why I didn't do it here. I normally add everything in my system variables because this might be relevant for others. Okay.
Okay.
So if someone else wants to use a different Java version, they can go ahead and change it here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the reason I used like this. But in your case, you can store everything inside here, or everything inside here, or one here and one here. Absolutely fine. Okay.
Okay.
Amutan, I have a question here.
Yeah, guys, we'll go one by one.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
Suppose if suppose my C drive is full and I want to install it in other drives which are free. So even my environment variables will change accordingly, right?
Yeah. You have to change your path. That's it. It'll always work. Okay, you can have it in different places as well. The reason we are putting it in C drive is because it will be little faster. Okay, your because normally if you are using SSDs, right, it will be little faster. Normally your hard drives won't be that faster. That's the reason I have put it in C drive. Okay, because it needs some memory, it needs some capacity to read and write. So it might be little slow if you put it in your D drive. Okay, so that's the reason I have put it in the C drive. Okay, because I use my C drive is SSD, so the writing and reading capacity is much faster than my hard drives. Yeah, but it will work. Okay, but it'll might be little slow. Okay. Okay. Next question, please. Someone else.
Yeah, Amutan, actually, could you please give me a small example? What is the difference between system variables and user variables? Why do we use that?
That's what I told.
Sorry, I missed that. Yeah.
See,
I missed that down.
System variables is for everyone who is using the system. Okay, you can have multiple users using your system. Okay, so in that case, you can go for system variables if that needs to be, that particular path variable needs to be applicable for all the users who are using the system. If the environment variables, whatever you are setting, should be applicable only to your user profile, then you can set it for in the user profile section. Okay.
Yeah, then thanks.
Okay, good. So now we have done with the softwares, right? So now I will go and understand how this Apm architecture works. This is pretty important because this might be asked in an interview. Not many of them knows intricately how this works, but we'll try to understand. Okay. So this is the Apm architecture. Okay, it works like a client server, right? A client server architecture, right? So this is our client. Okay, whatever the code that we write. Okay, in our IDE, there is a jar file, right? Apm Java client libraries that uses that converts our code. Whatever, suppose we are writing driver.find element. Okay, find this element using the XPath, and this is the value. Whatever. Okay, we are writing some bunch of code. Okay, what it does, what the client library does is convert them into a JSON wire protocol, which means it convert them into a JSON. Okay, and then it sends a HTTP request to this particular server. This Apm server is built in Node.js. It is a pretty simple HTTP server. Okay, it listens to the request and then it gets all the work from a client. It delegates to the devices. Okay, so if it is iOS, it uses UI Automator 2. Sorry, if it is Android, it uses UI Automator 2. If it is iOS, it uses XE UI test. The XE UI test is the driver. It's like, imagine for Chrome, you are using Chrome driver. for a Firefox, you are using Firefox driver in Selenium automation, right? The same way, basically this UI automator 2 is a server that that this Apm server will install that into the Android device, and then it will send the commands to this UI automator 2. This UI automator 2 then interacts with the mobile device and then ask it to do the task whatever we are sending. So the workflow is like this. Okay, you write your code, you can use any of these languages, you write some code, it will convert it to JSON, okay, and then send it to Apm. Now Apm understand from your code which device you want to run your test, and then it will also delegate that particular test to Android devices or iOS devices or even Windows apps. Okay, in our scope, we're going to speak only about Android. Okay, good. So is this a little clear on a high level? Can you understand? I will go much deeper into this, how this JSON wire protocol is done, how this message has been passed, all those stuff. I will go in detail, but on a high level, client send the request, Apm server receives it, understand in which device it needs to execute, sends the commands, okay, does the job. This again device again responds you back with the 200. Okay, I have clicked this element successfully. Okay, then Apm server receives this and send it back to client that this is a success for clicking this particular element. So the operation is pretty slower when compared to Selenium. Again, guys, if you are someone who used Selenium 6 to 7 years back, we have something called a Selenium RC. Okay, where we also need to create a Selenium server to delegate the commands, but then they eradicated it, and then now we are using Selenium WebDriver. That's a different case. Okay, but still the Apm server is still using the older way of controlling everything using an Apm server. Okay, this is a client server architecture. Server is written using Node.js. Okay, in these clients you can code in pretty much in almost all the languages. Okay, that's a pretty simple architecture explanation. Okay, we'll dive deeper, but for now just understand the high level concept. Okay, again, as I told, the Apm client libraries, you can use any of these languages which you feel comfortable. In our case, we are going to use Java, right? Okay, Apm desktop. Okay, let me open a paint and then I'll tell you something. Okay, so now we understood we have some guy called as client. Okay, this is the client we have, and we also have some server. Okay, now this client can be ran in this client is your Apm Java, right? The Apm Java client, you download a Maven dependency, everything is done. Okay, Apm Java. Okay, the server can be ran in two ways. Okay, one is their desktop app. Okay, that is Apm desktop. You can use Apm desktop. That is the app that we downloaded. Okay, it has everything. Okay, it has Node.js library, all the stuff that you need to do the job. You also, if you're not interested in running like this, then you can also use something called as command line interface. That is you're using Apm via CLI. Okay, Apm via command line interface. Okay, so we'll come to that later, but for now we will ignore it. Okay, I'll come to that why I'm not doing this. Okay, this is an older way of doing this, but now we have an Apm desktop that can do the job for us, so we will stick to Apm desktop. When you want to run your CI/CD jobs and other stuff, then we can go for this Apm via CLI, because this Apm desktop has a lot of features that I'll try to explain in the coming classes. But for now, just understand Apm client is just your jar file. You can use a Maven dependency to download all these things, and your server can be ran in two ways. One is Apm desktop and one is CLI, but we are now going to focus only on the this particular thing. Okay, we can run in two ways. Okay, but we are going to use this way now. Good. So let's start that. Okay, I have already downloaded this Apm desktop. I have yesterday explained where to download this. So just click on this. Okay, it will open an interface for you. So it is much easier. In the older versions of Apm, when I started to learn Apm, only the CLI was available. Apm desktop was not there. Okay, I was that old. Okay. It might take a little bit of time, this Apm to kickstart. Okay, in the meantime, I'll also open my AVD. Okay.
Muskan, just one question here.
Yeah.
For our everything like a project, like how much space does it consume? Our all the setup files and all in C drive, minimum 1 GB, right? Or
Actually, the SDK, Android SDK that we download, right, with the build tools and other stuff. If you want to create emulator, then it might take at least 2 GB.
okay.
Okay, so yeah, you need at least 2 GB of space. Okay, and if you notice, this is the Android Studio that gonna help us to create the emulators. Okay, you can go here to the configure. If you want to download some older versions of SDK so that you can test your app in different versions of SDK, let's say Android 8, Android 9, Android 10, you want to test it in different versions. Okay, then you can go to this SDK Manager, and then for now there is only one downloader, that is Android 11. Okay, the API level is 30. Okay, it is installed. Suppose if you want to test on Pi, okay, Android Pi or Oreo or Nugget, you have to click on this and then click on download. Okay, then you will be downloading it, and then you can also build an emulator using this particular version. So you can also see that it goes until 2.1, but Apm will support from only 4.4. Okay, if you are using older versions, we cannot automate them using Apm. Okay, so now my Apm server is also ready. Okay, now we are good to go. Okay, so let's first kickstart our let's go cancel. Okay, if you want to download older SDKs, you can also do that, but for now I'm not doing it. I'm directly go to the AVD manager. Okay, if you notice, there is an AVD already created. Suppose if you want to create another Android virtual device, you can click on create Android virtual device in the left bottom, and here you can choose what and all things that you want to do. Suppose if I want to choose an Android watch kind of thing, you can also go ahead and try it out, but for now we will stick to the phone and we'll choose anything. Okay, suppose if you want a Nexus 6 kind of thing, okay, you want a different screen resolution. Okay, you cannot buy all these devices, right? You can use an Android Studio to build these emulators. That is really cool, right? So suppose I want to create this Nexus 6. Okay, then click on next. Okay, now it will ask you what kind of operating system you want to install this in this particular device. Okay, then you can choose R, because I have already downloaded this R, so it is already readily available. For others, it is showing me download option. Okay, if you want to install any other things, you will just click on download here as well. Okay, and then click on next, and then you choose the device. Okay, whether you want the portrait mode or the landscape mode, all those stuff. You can also set their custom settings, all those stuff. What is the thing that you want to do? Okay, and then click on finish. Okay, it will create another Android device for you, but for now I'm not doing it. I am happy with whatever I have, so I just click on launch this emulator. It'll launch the emulator.
But then where you clicked and the pop-up came.
Okay, here if you notice, there is plus create virtual device in the left corner bottom. Guys, can you see here? I'm highlighting. Can you see this?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so from here I just click on this button. It gives me the pop-up where I want to do. Okay, and let me clear all the drawings and then close this. So now we have this app. So we have a brand new device. This is called as virtual device because it physically doesn't exist. Okay, this is a virtual device, but it can perform all the operation like you want. Okay, you can make you can watch YouTube videos, you can do a lot of stuff that you want to do here. Okay, yesterday I have installed the app already, so we need an app to test this. We need an app. I am not an app developer, so I cannot develop an app. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the app that was created by Apm guys itself. Okay, they have created an app that has all the features. Okay, if you want to try their so go to the apm.io. Okay, they have developed an app in such a way that you can test all the mobile interactions, swiping and then pinching and then you scrolling. Okay, and then tapping, sending the keys. Okay, selecting checkboxes, selecting drop downs and whatnot. All the operations involved in a mobile device, they have created and bundled in an app. Okay, so you go here and watch all these things. Okay, if you go to their introduction, Okay, guys, yesterday I have given about the hybrid app definition, right? If you notice, even here they are mentioning hybrid apps have a wrapper around a web view, okay, on a native control. Okay, so the projects like Apache Cordova makes it easy to build apps using web technologies that are bundled into a native wrapper. Okay, this is an exact old way of defining hybrid app. People started to call uh, you know the yesterday Adi told, okay, in their project they are using the same code to build Android and iOS apps. They call it as hybrid app. Okay, that is a newer way of doing it, but as per Apm, okay, or as per older guys like me, this is how we define a hybrid app. Okay. Okay, hybrid is again an ambiguous word, so you can mix and match, but whenever they ask in an interview, give them both the definition so that they can understand both. Okay, and then you can also tell hybrid is a very ambiguous term that leads you can understand in either ways, right? So yeah, I took all this whatever I teach it from here. Okay, so you also, if you want to learn a lot of things, you can go ahead and learn it here. But if you notice, we want the docs, right? Click on the getting started docs, and there will be an option to download your yeah. So if you notice, there is a, we will assume that you have this test APK. Okay, this tape, click on this button, that will download you an APK file. This is an Android package file. Okay, 4.6 MB, show in folder. Okay, you can I have already downloaded this, so it is telling me a copy of it. Okay, so you can download this. We are going to work only with this app. So how this app looks, how to install this app, everything I will tell you now. Okay, suppose this is an device, so let's say I already installed this. So if you want to install that app, you just need to drag it and then come to the emulator and then put it here. Okay, that's it. It'll install. Okay, app has been updated because it is already available. So in that case, it got updated. Otherwise, it will be installed. Okay, so now this is an app that we are going to work with. Okay, let's take an overview of this app, how this app looks. So it has a lot of things like accessibility, animation, app, something like this. Click on somewhere. Okay, you can go inside this, can check how this works. Okay, you can also play around with checkboxes. You can also come back. You can, okay, you can do a lot of things. Okay, I'll cover all these things, okay, in the coming sessions. Okay, let's say you want to do so you want to do some scrolling, you can do that scrolling here. You can select a lot of options here. There will be an option for scrolling, and then swiping and other stuff. Okay, so maybe you want to select an action boss, all those stuff. Okay, you can also try these things. Okay, almost all the actions, okay, that you want to you will do in a mobile app will be here. Okay, so we're gonna use this app for our testing purpose. Okay, now let's get back to the older way. So if you notice, we have the server. So this is our server is ready. Okay, so if you notice, by default it will start on your local host port 4723. Okay, for now you don't have to worry about any of these things. Okay, just click on start server. Okay, now a server is now listening. Okay, see, Apm REST HTTP interface listener started on this particular port on your local host 0.0.0.0. It indicates that it's a local host. Okay, it opened up port 4723 and then it started to listen to your commands. Okay, now we need to set up a client. And then we need to send the request to the server. We have the device already. We have the app ready. So everything is ready. Only thing is we need the Apm client, okay, to send the commands to the Apm server. So we will do that now. Okay, so you can use any of the IDEs, guys. You can use any of the IDEs that you wish. I have started to use Intellij very recently, so let me try to use Intellij. Okay, but in your case you can try any of these. Okay, any of the IDE. I have created a very simple Maven project and then added certain dependencies. Okay, I'll tell you what are all the dependencies that I've added. Okay, so this is the first thing, Apm Java client. Okay, this is the library that I'm speaking about. This is the Apm client that we are speaking about for a long time. Apm client. Okay, let me close this. Okay, I go here. Apm client library, Apm client Maven. That is the thing that you want. Go here, Java client. Okay, I want the Apm Java client. This is the latest version that is available, 7.5.1. Just copy this and then paste it here. Okay, I have already done this dependency, and then I also added a testng dependency. In your case, if you want to use any other testing framework, you can also do that, but recommended to use testng. And we are going to use assert.j for assertions instead of using normal testng assertions. We're going to use assert.j library. So I have added that. So very simple, three dependencies I have added. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Guys, any doubts so far?
Yes, Muttanna. This
Yeah.
Intellij, how have you set up? Can you show us?
Sorry, what?
Intellij.
Intellij. Yeah, okay. So what is an ID that you normally use?
Eclipse we use.
Then you can
for
use Eclipse. See, you don't have to switch to a new ID just because I am teaching in it. Okay, you can, if you want, you are interested, you can download Intellij for downloads. Okay, and then go to this particular link and download it from here. They have two versions. One is their ultimate version, which is paid one. You get a 30-day trial, but I'm using their community version, which is open source. Okay, so just download whatever thing you want. Suppose you want a exe file, just download it and install it. As simple as that. But if you're using Eclipse, you can also do the same thing using Eclipse. No difference, nothing. Okay, you can still open Eclipse. I also use Eclipse, so you can also use Eclipse. Okay, good. So in Eclipse also, you know how to create a Maven project, right? So you go here, you create your Maven project, and then you just create a folder. That's it. Okay, and then whatever the app that I downloaded, I have pasted in this particular folder itself. Okay, in the Apm practice folder, I have created a new project called Apm practice. Inside that, I have pasted it here. Okay, API demos -debug.apk. So now, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Amdan.
Yeah.
In your Selenium videos, you have shown some apps like Amazon, some Orange HRM, etc.
Yeah.
So API demos is such kind of thing to test, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I cannot build. You can also use Amazon app to test, but it is not recommended to test their live apps. Okay,
Correct.
so we will take an because even Amazon app does not have all the interactions with them, but this app, whatever they have developed, is having all the interactions. So I'll tell you, a lot of interactions are there. Maybe
yes, just to correlate, I'm just asking this.
Yeah. So if you notice, there is a long text box if you want to try it. Okay, all the stuff, I think. Yeah, so if you notice, drag and drop is here. Okay, you can drag something and then put it here. Okay, if you can drag something, I don't know, it's not okay, it's dropped. Okay, it is already telling it's dragging and then it's dropped. Okay, good. So the same way you can try it out different of date widgets. Okay, you can try date widgets. Okay, you can try this interactions. Okay, if you want to select a date, because these are all the things that you might see in a mobile app. Okay, they have all this here. Okay,
most common operations are there here.
Yeah, so we will use that for our learning purpose.
Okay, thanks, Amdan.
Okay, good.
Amdan, one more thing, like Amdan, can in our near classes, like can you show like web-based application also?
Web page
like,
application, right?
Yeah,
we will show that. We'll come to that later, but for now we will only work on native. Then we will move to Chrome, the web pages.
Okay,
that will be covered. That is a part of the course content, and that will be definitely covered, so don't worry about it. That will be very easy if you know already Selenium. If you know Selenium already, that will be very easy. So that's why I keep it later, but for now just understand we are setting up an Apm client now, and we are going to work with it. Okay, so whatever the downloaded APK file, I have moved it here. Okay, let's try to write some code. Again, you can use testng, if you wish. Let me also switch this to testng at the rate. Okay, and then void my first Apm test. Okay, good. And here we need to tell, okay, we need to tell Apm server, okay, certain things. Okay, let's imagine an ecosystem that your Apm server is having a lot of devices. Okay, we have configured just one device now, but imagine, okay, device one, this is your device one. device 2, device 3. Okay, so from same Apm client, you can send one request. Okay, you can send request. This Apm server will delegate to different devices. So you can do parallel testing as well, or or testing on different devices also. You can also do that. Okay, why I'm telling this? Now the server needs to recognize what kind of device that you are using. Okay, that is one important task. To tell that, we need to set something called as decide capabilities to tell, hey, you whatever the command that I send, you execute on this particular Android version, this particular device. The device UDID is this. So if you want to distinguish between the devices, we will write a lot of decide capabilities code. But in our case, we are now not having all these devices. We are just having only one device. Okay, now Apm desktop can understand everything. So there is only one device. Whatever the command you send, I will send it to that guy. So now Apm server is ready. Okay, in that device there are a lot of apps. Okay, there are a lot of apps in this device. There is Chrome, there is phone app, there is YouTube, there is settings app. There are a lot of apps. What app I need to work with? Okay, again guys, if you have not installed it, we can also install using the code, Apm code. We can install it, but we have already installed it, so it will again try to install and then update the existing APK. So there should be much difference. So now we need to just tell Apm server that what is the app that it need to work with. Okay, so if you notice, we have already have this here. Okay, so first let's to tell this, we need to use decide capabilities. Okay, and then so decide capabilities, and then I type capabilities dot set capabilities. Okay, I'm setting mobile capability type. There is something called as mobile capability type. Okay, and then press Control and space. If you notice, there is something called as application. So we are going to tell what kind of application we want to work with. Okay, so here my application is present here. Okay, so I can give the path. Okay, so let's say system dot user get property user dot get there will give me the current folder location. Inside that, there is a file called API demos hyphen debug dot apk. This is the file that you want to interact with. Okay, it is still trying. Sorry, set capability. Okay, so now this is done. Okay, so now we have told what kind of thing that it needs to open. Okay, what is the app that need to interact? Again guys, you can write it in one single line. That's absolutely fine. So since this is pretty long, I have broken down into 2 lines. Now we have told Apm server what app that it needs to open. Okay, that's it. We are all done. Okay, in normal case, how we will write the code to launch the browser? Web driver equal to new, we'll do all these things, right? The same way we can also use web driver, but for now Apm driver or Android driver is the most preferred one. Okay, Android driver. So we are going to only use Android in our case, so we are using Android driver. Okay, driver equal to new Android driver. Okay, and if you notice, it will also ask you for the generic type. Okay, for that, so you just need to and here you just pass whatever the port number that we got. Okay, 27. This is your local host, guys. You can also represent your local host with this IP. Okay, it will work on Linux, Mac, Windows, everywhere. Okay, and then the port number is where our Apm server is running. Okay, if you notice, our port number is 4723. Okay, and then add the /wd/hub. This Apm server gonna act like a hub, so we are giving like that. And then you need to also pass the capabilities. Whatever you have created here, you just need to pass it. Okay, that's it. Once you're done with this, see, it's telling you are not using with generics. Okay, you are using a RAM thing. Okay, it is telling Android driver of T. This T is actually should be a subtype of web element. Okay, then now I can understand it going to store Android element of type. Okay, this is generic, guys, nothing else. Okay, don't worry about it. Even if you don't enter this, it will work. Okay, So it is throwing some unhandled exception. Okay, and then you can also surround with the try catch, but for now I am just adding to the method signature. Okay, this is a very simple piece of code. We have written only 3 lines of code. Now the client is ready. Okay, server is up and running. We have a device as well. Let's try to run it. Okay, my test is started to execute. Okay, see, my Apm server is started to receive the commands from the Apm client. We have sent some commands, right? It has now received those commands. It's trying to do a lot of checks. Okay, and then it has also launched the APK here. Okay, that's a very simple process of launching an app. Okay, now we need to understand how the whole thing works. Okay, right, this is interesting, right? So now let's go here and try to understand what the server logs tells. Okay, whatever the thing, okay, this was previously there, and then whatever the desired capabilities that we passed. Okay, if you notice, we passed only one desired capability, that is app, and then we have given the path of the APK file. Okay, it has default understood that platform name that we are going to work with is Android. Okay, and then it's trying to find the first match that is matching our requirements. So it is trying to understand what is the app that it needs to install and work with in the device. Okay, so it has understood all these things. Okay, now it is telling one warning, hey, you need to mention what kind of framework that you are using to interact with the Android device. We'll come to that. See, it is telling before Apm 1.13 the default was UI Automator 1, but now the default was UI Automator 2, but you haven't mentioned any of those. Please set them using automation name. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, so what we are going to do, we'll go to the Intellij again, and then we can also set, okay, capabilities dot set capability. Okay, and then mobile capability type. Here we have something called as automation name. Okay, here mention UI auto meter 2. This is a server. So if you notice, even the diagram that I showed, okay, in the Apm slides, if you notice, there is UI automator 2, because that is the server this Apm will inject into the device. Okay, it will inject into the device to send the, see, whatever the commands that the Apm server is telling, there needs to be another server in the device to listen to it and then delegates into the device. Okay, so this UI automator 2 is basically a server. How I understood all these things. Okay, let me close this. Okay, let me close this, and then also close this. Open Apm GitHub. Okay, let's go to Apm GitHub. Apm GitHub is most of the things what I learned is from official documentation. Okay, that's where you get all the information. Okay, that you cannot find everywhere. Okay, go to the official documentation, their GitHub. Okay, not only this Apm project, they also have other projects. Suppose if you want to work with iOS, see, they have one project called XE UI test driver. In our case, we are dealing with UI Automator 2. So let's click on this. Okay, if you notice, this is a netty server that runs on the device. Okay, it is running on a device, whatever the device, it's a physical device or your Android virtual device, whatever, that doesn't matter. It runs on the device and listens to the commands. Okay, and then executes all these things. So this is basically the UI Automator 2 that we are interested in. Okay, good. So we have run our basic test. Okay, everything is working fine. Let's try to also understood this particular diagram, whatever the diagram that we have seen in a much detailed way. Okay, let's also open a new one. So let's say this is your client. Okay, this is your client, and this is your server. Whatever the request that you send will be converted to a form of JSON. Okay, so whatever the request that you send will be converted into a form of JSON. Let's say, imagine that you are sending I want to find something, I want to find an element based on XPath with this particular value. then it will sell, okay, let's say it sends something like this, strategy, XPath, and then so value of that is basically some // a, something like this. Okay, there is no // a, but some values. Okay, some XPath value. So whatever the command that you send will be converted into a form of JSON, and it will be sent as a form of post request. Okay, so there will be post request to this HTTP endpoint. Okay, this is a HTTP server, right? The Apm is a HTTP server. It will send a post request to this particular endpoint, and there will be endpoint of session ID. Okay, what is session ID? Okay, whenever a client sends a first call to the server recognizes the client and then gives back a token, kind of a token. Okay, hey client, I know you now. Your name is ABCD123, whatever, ABCD123. This is your session ID. The next time you are calling me, I will only recognize you by using this session ID. Okay, so it will send, next time the client will send all the post requests to this particular session ID only. Okay, so this is how internally it operates. Again, guys, you cannot find it anywhere. So we'll try to understand, where I have learned all these things. Okay, let's go here. We are done. So we send some desired capabilities, it find. So if you notice, session created with session ID. So 491, some ID. So some ID it has generated. So this is the ID what I'm selling. So whenever a client sends a request to the server, it gives back the client ID. So session ID, it creates a new session, and next time when these two are interacting, okay, they will use this as a unique key to identify. Okay, because there can be multiple clients who can send commands to, there can be another client also who can send command to this particular server. Okay, so in that case, it needs to understand which client is sending what. So that's why we need the session ID. Okay, good. So if you notice, it is finding what is the UDID of this emulator. Again, since there is only one device, it can easily understand what is that. Okay, so it has understood that the emulator, there is an emulator, and then it is a device. Okay, and then you can also see a lot of operations doing. Someone has asked why we are setting the path, what is this ADB command does. So this is what the ADB command does for everything. C uses test. So this is the path that we set, in our path variable, right? adb.exe. This file is now accessed globally by, because Apm server needs this to send the command. So it is telling you start the server. Okay, you start the server, UI automator server. Okay, using it is telling all the commands using this ADB. ADB is your key. Okay, hot for every command it uses that. Okay, what command you want to send, in which emulator you want to send, what you want to do. Okay, all these things are basically Android commands. Whatever the thing that you told is converted into Android commands, executed on the device, the results are coming back to you. Okay, you can go through the logs in more detail, okay, once you get time. So first it will check whether your app, whatever the app you are telling, is available or not. Okay, if it is already installed, it will not install, otherwise it will try to install. All those things will be there, you can try it out yourself. Okay, good. So when we work with the driver.find element, all those stuff, okay, then you can understand how this JSON session is getting. So suppose if you notice, there is a call to this session ID to check the pixel ratio, what is the system bus, all those stuff. They internally do a lot of things we don't have to worry about, but whatever the session that has been created has a timeout of 60 seconds. Okay, you can change this timeout, that is different. But if the client is not sending any request for a period of 60 seconds, the session will be closed by the server. Okay, that's the default timeout. You can customize this timeout based on your requirements, that we will see differently, but for now this is the very basics. Okay, I hope you all have understood what I am trying to say here. If you have any doubts until here, please ask me. So this is a simple diagram that you can imagine for your use case. Okay, so let me give a quick recap. Okay, so Apm works with client server architecture. This is very, very important. That's why I'm spending a lot of time here. We can speed up the training later, but this is pretty important. Okay, Apm client is what you download as a form of jar file or your Maven dependencies. We got this ready. We written our code, very simple piece of code using this. Okay, and then it was delegated to the Apm server. Apm server, we started the Apm server. Okay, we just click on start button, that's it. Okay, we will come to how to download the logs, how to, if you want to stop the server, you can stop the server like this. Okay, and then you can again start it. Okay, in any case, if any of your tests are not running, okay, you need to do one thing. Okay, let me open this, I'll tell you. So whatever the command that we sent to Apm server is now delegated to device and then executed. We have used an Android virtual device. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, exactly on Friday, we will see how we can work with real devices. Okay, I can tell that down, but we are already on time, so we'll stop it here. So if try to make this work in your machine. If it is not working, click on edit configuration. Okay, click on edit configuration. If you are getting some error like Android underscore home is not set and other stuff, you set your Android home path here as well. Okay, and then click on save and restart. Okay, if you face any issues, like your lamp is not like getting launched and then throwing error like Android underscore home is not set or is not being exported or something like that, then set the Android underscore home path here as well. Okay, so that this Apm server takes the home path here and then understand where the platform tools is, where the adb.exe file is, and then it will try to use it. Okay, good. So this is what you all guys need to do. Please practice tomorrow, and then by Friday, if you have any doubts, you can ask it. But you should be in a state to launch this particular app. I don't want you to operate anything, but at least you want to launch this particular piece of app. Okay, that's very important. Any doubts? Now we will open.
Yes, something.
Yeah, please ask.
So you mentioned UI Automator 2 is that's also a server. So like from Apm server, we are sending a request to different server, which is UI Automator 2, and then it is delegating the request to device.
Yeah. UI Automator 2 is basically a framework. Okay, but it internally acts like a server, but you don't have to go very deep like that. But you can imagine, see, if you are sending some commands, it needs to be listened by someone, right? You can understand, and okay, there is some kind of UI Automator 2 server running there that listens it and then delegates it, okay, to the device what it needs to do. Okay, if you don't understand, that's okay. This is just a intricate level details. Nobody gonna ask you all these things. If you can explain this, the high level things, that is more than enough. Okay.
And you will also show like in future how this JSON wire protocol is.
Yeah, we will do that, because we need to send some commands like driver dot find element, all those stuff. For that, we need to first understand how to inspect it. It takes time. We will come to that, how this whole JSON is being sent. Okay.
Sure. Can you go to Intellij?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah.
So here also I was seeing, HTTP 127. So like in the Apm server, we saw our local host as 000.
Yeah.
And here we see it. So both are the IP address, both reflect our local only, right?
Both are indicating the same local host. Okay, this you can use it on any machine. Okay, even in Linux, Mac, and it's just networking kind of detail. We don't have to go dig deeper into that. Okay, but basically, if you put this, it understood this is your local host. Okay.
And one more thing, like system.getProperty user.dir, mostly like I use dot and then slash, so both are same thing, right? If I instead of this I use just a dot.
Yeah, you can use that, but not many people understands that. So this is, we want it to be more readable. That's why I'm using system.getProperty. Okay, you can also use just a dot. Dot also indicates current directory. From current directory, it will take it. Yeah, can use it.
Yeah, and this mobile capability type, this is this an enum from your Selenium VDS?
Yeah, this is an enum. Okay, but this is developed by Apm guys themselves.
Yeah,
okay, we don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
So this is a mobile capability type, extending capability type, and also if you notice, this is basically string. So they have given us a enum. Okay, you can also, instead of enum, you can just pass automation name like this. Our app, you can pass it as app in small letters, right?
Yes.
If you notice very closely, when we run our command, whatever the command that we told, mobile capability type dot app is basically there as string of app, okay, double quotes app. Okay, you can also give as pass it as a form of string, or you can also pass it as a form of enum. Okay,
Correct.
anything is fine. Okay, enum is more efficient because you don't make any spelling mistake. Here if you notice automation name, the name n should be capital, otherwise it won't work. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
that's why we have used enum, so that enum can understand it and convert into a particular string whatever it needs. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, any more questions?
Yes, Amudan, I have a question. Like we have added like that APK file in project structure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that because like we are using virtual device, like or like is it common like we use everywhere, like whatever the app we test, we add that APK over there?
No, it is not like that. You can launch an app using two ways. Okay, one of them is using this app and then giving the app path. Okay, this will install if it is already not installed in your device, and then it will work it. Okay, otherwise there is a way called as app package and app activity. We are not yet there, but still there is another way called as app package and app activity. So using that, you can also distinguish a app. Okay, you can distinguish an app based on your app package and app activity. So each of the app in a device has their own app package and then own app activities. Okay, you can also use them to launch, but we will come to this particular thing later, where we will only focus on this now. Okay.
Okay, so when it comes to real device, like we don't install like this, like we don't add this APK, right? In this.
No, you don't have to add.
Okay, okay, got it.
So suppose the Amazon app is already installed in your machine. Okay,
Okay.
you want to launch it. You cannot give a path because you don't have to do all those stuff, right? So what you can do, you can just give the Amazon's app package and app activity, and then you can invoke it. Okay,
Yeah.
but we will go there. We are going step by step. Okay, we don't want to jump things, and then
Because I was confused, like if you want to add APK for all the apps which we test, then it would be like difficult, right?
yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Amutan, one more question. This JSON wire protocol, right? This is same as Selenium 3, correct?
Yeah, you have your RC Selenium RC, right? RC server.
Okay.
Then it was used to work like that. You send a command, there is a Selenium server that listens to it and delegates to browser. Okay, then they removed that and then brought in a lot of drivers, and then they changed the way how it works, and then now it is really cool. Apm will not be as fast as you think. Okay, so it will be a little slower than Selenium, but it will still do the job. Okay, and then we'll see about that. So, okay, how we can improve the there will be little flakiness compared to your Selenium in Appium test. Okay, because your Appium hub is doing a lot of work. Okay, if you're having 4 devices and then you have just one Appium server that can that is only doing the job, right? So it has to handle it. So there can be little slowness if you're trying to do parallel testing. We'll see how we can avoid that, all those stuff in later point of time. Don't worry about that now.
Amutan, one question, like what is this port like is that the default port?
Yeah, is that the default port? You can also change the port. Suppose if you want to open it in a different port, you can also do that. 4724 or 725, whatever you want, you can do that and then click on start the server. Okay, that's the default port. Okay, we'll also see how we can work with browser stack, CTest, or some other cloud devices, how we can pick those browser stack devices for our testing purpose. If you are someone who was not having a good local space, maybe you can wait till Friday and Saturday class, where I will tell how we can work with real device. Okay, we'll also see how we can work with real device, and then we'll also see how we can work with browser stack cloud devices for our testing purpose. Okay. Good. If there are any more doubts, I will take them. Otherwise, we'll wrap.
This project you just built like on Maven project. That's it, right?
That's it. That's it. Very simple Maven project. Okay, don't worry too much. It's a very simple Maven project. This is just demo project. I don't want to waste time creating projects, creating folders and other stuff. So just like create it. It's very simple. You can use any ID, no problem. So it will still work. Okay.
Okay.
Again, instead of this, you can also pass app. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, good. That's all. Any more doubts, guys? Otherwise, we'll wrap the session and then we will connect on Friday. We will take a rest tomorrow. Please install all the applications. Please make sure that that is working until this particular point of time. Okay, if you see it, just to only watch my videos or attend my training, you will not learn it, because while you install only, you will tend to face a lot of issues. Okay. Good.
Amutul, this video will be available on the same drive.
Yeah, same drive. I will upload it within 30 minutes. Then you can fetch it from there.
Okay.
Okay, good. So guys, I'll connect with you all on Friday. Until then, you all have a very good day. Tada, bye bye.